Other Way was basically an idea or a vision. There were two white gangs on the west side, the Outlaws and the Confederates, beating up each other with bicycle chains. And our church really had a passion for that. How can we bring some light to a rather dark setting? This group of guys, including two probation officers from the juvenile court that helped us, just said what we really need is another way. Instead of, fitting into a gang and destroying things, let's build things. Instead of, attacking one another, let's work together on a team. Instead of tearing down, let's build up. So it became kind of a natural flow. Let's discover the other way of new life in Christ. So I kind of came up with one day and just kind of scratched it out. What is my calling? What is my task? It's another Holy Spirit moment where it just fell into place. My calling is, one, to represent Jesus to the poor. That was my first calling, my highest calling. But then I also had to take a second step to represent the poor to the city. You got to take these people seriously. They're residents here and they're made in the image of God. And then I had one more task, a third one that said, represent the city to the church at large. I still got it in my pocket. It's still been my driving passion and vision. And that was helpful. I'm sure it was a gift from God. It kept me on track and to keep me focused. And I'd be shooting off in a dozen directions. He kept me focused. Praise His name.
The guide to the work that we do at The Other Way is called Asset-Based Community Development, which means that we approach the community from the standpoint that every person has something to contribute. So we work hard to go out to the community, to knock on their door, to find out what they're concerned about, and then find out how they might use their own gifts, God-given gifts, to address those problems.
We get a chance to see neighbors, real neighbors who are having some real issues, real problems. We don't necessarily have to solve them for them, but we have to listen to them so they can listen to themselves, come up with their own solutions. And then watching the kids come into the room, that's our future. Those individuals come in happy, they sit down, they do what they need to do, they get their lessons together, and then they play like kids are supposed to do. And to me, that's great because we're providing a space for them that's healthy for them. We attempt to use our resources and our network to provide the needs with people in a dignified way so they can maintain their dignity in our honor.
The heart of The Other Way Ministries is relational family ministries. We want to see stronger, Christ-centered families, raise up the kids, leadership development, character development, and then provide a consistent support to the parents.
When I moved to Grand Rapids, I needed help financially. I sought going to The Other Way to help me with food. I did it for a couple of years, and they've helped me tremendously. After they helped me out, I saw fit to respond. We're blessed to have The Other Way on the west side to help people that are in need. It brought me back to where I need to be. I'm very, very happy to be a part of that.
I was probably about 4 or 5 when I first found out about The Other Way, and it started with their summer program. The west side when I was a child was very broken. It was very dangerous at the time. If I would not have encountered The Other Way, I probably would not have been where I am today. I would have not have known all the things. I would have not encountered God the way I have.
What really grabbed me when I was 14 at The Other Way was the leadership at the time. And they just saw this potential in me that I didn't see. And so, it was life-changing. This Other Way is still helping me today with my catering and actually introduced me to Spring GR, which is how I got the opportunity to do a business class. Just knowing that The Other Way has brought me to my spirituality and my beliefs, that I spread that through what I do with food. I spread that through the people that I see and meet. I wouldn't be me, basically, without experiencing what I did as a child there.
The Other Way's really changed me and my perspective on how to approach people, what it means to do ministry. I become overwhelmed by what happens when somebody feels loved and accepted, and that they find their place, that they feel a sense of hope and joy.
So in the early years, when The Other Way began, Dick's vision certainly included the church. The city to the church was part of this three-pronged strategy and vision. At this point in our history, there is a beautiful, colorful tapestry of churches of every imaginable denomination who support the ministry and provide what is needed.
We can't do it by ourselves. We have a limited amount of resources and a limited amount of gifts, and so we need each other. And what I've found is that when we lean into others to accomplish a common goal, that the outcome is more fruitful, that the impact is deeper, and that we find joy on the journey as we labor together.
When I think of the Other Way Ministries and I think of the legacy that they have created for the past 50 years, I see this amazing oak tree that also provides shade for the community, that is a source of comfort to the community. And so it's just amazing when you start with small, how large it can get. And I think to those people that started the Other Way Ministries, you have no idea what the fruits of your labor have done, and I'm so excited to see the next 50 years and the next journey for the Other Way Ministries.
I love Helen and Dick. What they have done for our community for all these years, they're my family, and I love them to death.
Yeah, I just thank God for the life He's given us, the journey He's given us.
And we sort of wish we were still 27 and 29 instead of in our 70s, because then we could start all over and do it right this time or something. But when looking back, we can just say, praise be to God. He's been faithful for 5 decades now. That's a long time.